Columbine was 19 years ago. 15 dead, 21 wounded, and many more left traumatized. And here issues the accelerating trend of school shootings. Heritage High School, Deming Middle School, Fort Gibson Middle School, Boyle Elementary School, Carter G. Woodson Middle School. We are the first generation to be fully submerged into a culture of normalized school shootings, and we will be the last. Red Lake Senior High School, 10 dead, 7 wounded, and many more left traumatized. When the answer is staring you in the face, already proven countless times around the world and within our own country, it seems logical that this should not be a debate. When the counterclaims are based on twisted wording and the facade of freedom spread over the reality of sick greed of this national association, it seems clear what is necessary. Lives, just as every person's life should be universally protected. But here we are, safety pawned out, lives bartered for bribes, euphemized as donations. Here we are, only kids, but with a fire that cannot be put out with any less than the sanctuary our schools deserve, with the sanctuary we deserve. Here we are, only kids, but kids who are the future, kids who are determined, kids who are changed, kids who are the rude awakening to all the politicians who value cash over children's lives. Virginia Tech, 33 dead, 17 wounded, and many more left traumatized. I want to ask those who have put a price on our lives, and will the NRA and its political servants please enlighten me? How can you live with yourself when you have the blood of children on your hands? How can you sleep when these kids will never wake up? How can you be so delusional to the point that you convince yourself you hold no responsibility? When you are bought to turn a blind eye towards homicide, towards the homicide of children, you are at fault. And yes, of course, the shooters are primarily responsible, but when you are in a position where you can do something and you are complacent, it's you too. Northern Illinois University, 6 dead, 21 wounded, and many more left traumatized. I want you to hear the telltale heart of the countless children lost. I want you to realize the magnitude of what is happening, the reality of what is happening. I want you to know that my school's fire alarm accidentally went off, and that shouldn't be a big deal. I want you to know that there were kids who broke down in panic attacks and kids who flat out ran out of the school for their dear lives because they thought today is the day. It is happening. And I know that isn't a tragedy in the sense that people died, and I don't intend to take away from the weight of the deaths that have occurred. But this is a tragedy. It is a tragedy that we do not feel safe in our schools. And it breaks my heart to see my fellow students scared in a place meant for learning, scared somewhere that may be the only place they are cared for. It breaks my heart when I catch myself walking down the hall contemplating what I should do if it happens, mapping it out in my head, trying to figure out the best plan of action. Do I run for it? Do I just hide, or do I sacrifice myself for others? I want to believe that I would give myself up for the lives of others, but that isn't something a kid should have to believe. That isn't something a kid should have to even question. And it breaks my heart when my teachers get nervous and they don't want to show it. They want to look brave and they want to protect us, but sometimes something small happens, an unknown noise is heard, or that alarm goes off, and you see it in them, fear taking over their thoughts and mouthing, "We are next." Sandy Hook Elementary School, 28 dead, 2 wounded, and many more left traumatized. A parent sends their child off to school, makes sure they have their lunch, walks them to the bus, says goodbye, says, "I love you." The kid is excited to see their friends. They're excited to do crafts today. They're excited for recess. A parent sends their child off to school, and their child doesn't come home from school, and their child never comes home. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, 17 dead, 14 wounded, and many more left traumatized. I'm so sorry your lives were cut short. I'm so sorry we didn't fix this before. I'm sorry this country values impractical weaponry more than it values children. And I wish we had hours so we could honor everyone lost, and I wish there was time to list every shooting and every victim, but there are just too many. Savannah State University, Norfolk State University, Huffman High School, Great Mills High School. So for you, all of you, every shooting victim and every family that has been devastated by such, and I'm not just talking about the kids we always hear about, but the people of color whom gun violence is often aimed at, yet who are yet who are also typically ignored. For you, we will fight, and we won't stop until we and all the generations after us are safe. We will not stop walking out, marching on, sitting in, and we will pry open the cold grip of the NRA and release those amendments formed to give us freedom that they have twisted. That they have twisted to give themselves more money. I know all of our minds are occasionally plagued by the fears that I'm just a kid or I'm just one person, I can't do anything, but this is proof that that is not true. This is proof that we are not helpless, proof that we have power, that we are changed, because yes, we are kids, but I'll guarantee you, we have studied this more recently and more in depth than half the people complaining that we are just kids. And I know for sure, those people did not grow up in a world where school shootings are a normal thing. And we are the kids who did. And we are the rude awakening to all the politicians who value cash over children's lives so that no one else grows up like we had to.